Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. As promised, a ton of people submitted mailbag questions, a lot of our subscribers in yesterday's video, and so I went through, pulled the best 6 or 7. There were a lot of really good ones. So I only got to 6 or 7, but they're really, really good. We're going to go through them one at a time and answer as many questions as I possibly can get through. All right, let's start with Larry, who says they think Wallace, aka Kayvon Wallace, can play the Mills role from last season, and if Hurts goes 10-7, do you think he deserves another season? Quickly, first on Wallace. I thought that was going to be the case, and then they went ahead and signed Anthony Harris, who's going to be essentially the Jalen Mills replacement. So I think that kind of indicates they aren't fully sold on Kayvon Wallace yet. Plus, Anthony Harris is a great player. They got on a 1-year really cheap deal. Thumbs up for that. Love it. Let Wallace continue to learn and grow and be the safety of the future. Harris is the safety of the present. In terms of Hurts, if Hurts goes 10-7, 1,000,000% he would deserve another season. I don't care if they lost first round of the playoffs. That would be a very good year for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I'll go a step further. Hurts deserves at least 2 full seasons of like 100% commitment from the organization behind his back. Carson Wentz, think about this. Carson Wentz had 2 seasons of 100% commitment by the Philadelphia Eagles. But I mean, literally, about the draft year 2016, they got rid of Sam Bradford and they said, Carson Wentz, you're the guy. Then year 2, full commitment, a full team around him. Guess what? He had the team in position to go ahead and win a Super Bowl because, as everyone knows, they do not win that Super Bowl if Carson Wentz did not get them the number 1 seed in the NFC. However, as the seasons continue to progress, not a lot of help in 2018 due to injuries, not a lot of help in the draft in 2019 due to, of course, poor drafting by Howie Roseman, and then in 2020 they went ahead and drafted his replacement, meaning they were not all in on Carson Wentz. So you need at least, maybe even more, 2 full seasons of all in, putting all of your effort to make sure Jalen Hurts has the best possible team around him, and that means not drafting any quarterback in the high rounds. You can get one in the later rounds. We talked about that. I'm fine in the 5th or 6th round getting another backup quarterback, but putting all of your effort into getting him another weapon on the wide receiver front, making sure the offensive line is ready to rock and stays healthy. Have a balanced play sheet in terms of calling running plays to keep him from having to throw too many times, and upgrading the defense. That way, the defense gets stops and interceptions and turnovers to put Hurts in the right position. So minimum of 2 years. But to answer your question shortly, if they go 10-7 next year, we're all very pumped. I mean, that's a very good year going from a 4-win football team to a 10-win football team. We would all be pumped for that. Now, let me ask you guys this. There'll be a pin comment down below. Do you believe Hurts is the future at quarterback? I think most of us do, but I always like to kind of see, is there someone out there that doesn't like Jalen Hurts? I mean, I guess there could be, but let me know what you guys think. Why down below for yes if you believe in him, and down below for no if you do not. All right, next question here comes from Brendan, who says, thoughts on trading back into the second round, back up in the second round with the other picks and drafting Samuel Jr. Yeah, I'm for that. We've talked a lot about here on this channel how Philadelphia has a lot of ammo to go ahead and move up and down in rounds 2, 3, 4, maybe even into the top 10. There's a new report today talking about Philadelphia is open to trading back into the top 10. Probably depends on if Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith were to go ahead and fall to the 7, 8, or 9 range. But trading up in round 2, I'm all for it. I love Asante Samuel Jr. I think Philadelphia must get a cornerback in round 1 or 2. Now, 2 reasons. 1, they need a cornerback. I mean, it's very obvious. Opposite of Darius Slay, there's Avonte Maddox and nobody else. And 2, the cornerback list in terms of the overall great players that are there really end after round 2. Sure, there will be gems in every single draft, but round 1 and round 2 have a bunch of good corners, and I think if they go, let's say, Patrick Surtain in the first round, fantastic, but if they don't go Patrick Surtain at number 12 overall and they go Jaylen Waddle or Devontae Smith falls, or they want to go ahead and get a pass rusher, who knows? Then you go into the second round and get a guy like Asante Samuel Jr., who is my favorite second-round prospect, but I think he's almost too good to where he might go in the first round. So then you look at like a Sean Wade out of Ohio State. You look at a guy like Tyson Campbell out of UGA. There are plenty of other cornerbacks to be had. Just get a corner in one of the first 2 rounds who hopefully can be a starter for many, many years to come. Who would you guys rather have, though? I think that 12 is going to come down to Waddle or Surtain. That's what I'm narrowing it down to right now. Receiver or corner. Who would you guys rather have? Jaylen Waddle at number 12 or Patrick Surtain at number 12? Type W down below for Waddle. Type S down below for Surtain. Now, if you missed out on this mailbag video in terms of your question not being answered, make sure you guys are subscribed because we pull subscriber questions only. So go down below and subscribe. That way you're ready to rock for next week's news and rumors video and also mailbag videos, as well as we are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. And I'm telling you, the news is going to get crazier and crazier, and we'll cover it here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed and click the notification bell. That way you're notified in your YouTube subscription box whenever we drop a new video. Clutch HG says, would you prefer in the draft, who would you prefer in the draft, Surtain, J.C. Horn, Jaylen Waddle, or Devontae Smith. Also, the Eagles go defense first round. I think they'll stick defense or go offense. I'm assuming in round 2 is the question. Here's the deal. Here are your 3 biggest needs. I've said this before. It's down below me right now. Eagles need wide receiver, cornerback, and then linebacker. In that, literally in that order. You can make the case corner is more important, up and down. However, in terms of Surtain, Horn, Waddle, or Smith, you take Smith out of the 4, right? The best player on that board to me is Devontae Smith. Will he be there at 12? I don't think so. So I'd go Smith 1, Surtain 2, and then Horn and Waddle are kind of, right there with each other, right? The third best cornerback and then the third best wide receiver. Take your pick. But Smith, to me, is the best player of the 4, with Surtain being, right below him. And then there's Waddle and Horn, and they're right there. So, honestly, all 4 of those guys are great players. But they need to get a receiver, a corner, and a linebacker at some point in this draft. And hopefully they just go first, second, third round. Boom, boom, boom. And then just solve all the issues early. And hope all those players turn out to be really, really good. Okay, before we go ahead and keep going, help out our partners at Newsbreak by downloading their app for your iPhone today, which is one of the best one-stop shops for all the local great news content that you want in your area. And it's completely customized for whatever you guys want to follow, right? So if you're in Philadelphia, maybe Delaware County, Chester County, Bucks County, literally anywhere with a zip code, anywhere in the United States, you put your zip code in. After you download the app, you get local news, you get weather, political commentary if you want that, sports, obviously, and it's all at the touch of your fingertip there on your iPhone. You can also follow specific sports stuff like the Philly Inquirer, NJ.com, and more, as well as us here at Chat Sports. To download it, go to chatsports.com/EaglesNB, which you see at the bottom of your screen right now. That will download you the Newsbreak app to your iPhone, and then search for whatever pages you want to follow, including us here at Chat Sports by searching Eagles Now by Chat Sports, and you get more Eagles updates, news, and videos just like you do here on YouTube. We already have 101 followers. I think we have more than that at this point. Trying to get up to 200, so make sure you guys go ahead and download the Newsbreak app and get to filling in all of the different types of news you want to follow, and follow us as well, Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Okay, Chase says, what will we do with Dillard? Because I want Mailata to start. Keep him for Lane Johnson backup because most likely whole team gets hurt. Hopefully the whole team doesn't get hurt. But yes, I would definitely keep Andre Dillard for depth. Now, I'm up for an open competition at left tackle. I'm not sitting here and saying, well, Mailata must start, even though I think he should, and I feel like Mailata is the future at left tackle. The guy's a beast. He's a physical freak, and he was really good last year towards the second half of that season. So I'm hoping that Mailata is going to go ahead and start. However, I won't be so close-minded that I won't accept Dillard's chance to win the starting job. He was a first-round draft pick, had the injury last offseason, and so if he can win the job, then better, more power to him. But keeping depth is important. I think they have some decent depth on the interior. Nate Erbig is there. He played in some spots. Jack Driscoll. But I want depth on the outside as well in case, heaven forbid, Johnson goes down or heaven forbid Mailata goes down. So don't trade Dillard. They talked about trading Dillard this past offseason. Obviously have not done it. I still wouldn't do it. Keep the depth. That way, if you have a 2019 scenario or a 2020 scenario where you get a lot of injuries, especially in the offensive line, you cannot just have everything doesn't completely unravel, and so hopefully they go ahead and keep him because, again, I don't think he's gotten a fair shake at all. He wasn't that great as a rookie, got injured last year, and then hopefully has a shot to play this year, but I'm rooting for Mailata because the guy's just a physical beast. I'll ask you guys, though, who should start at left tackle? If you're just going to guess right now, is it Jordan Mailata or is it Andre Dillard? Type M down below for Mailata, type D down below for Dillard. Okay, a couple more here. Saint Nick Foles, good name, says, with Miles Sanders always nicked up and Jordan Howard just a journeyman, the Eagles go for a running back like in third or fourth round to develop. Yeah, sure. I think the Eagles could use another running back. I'm a big Boston Scott fan. I'm a massive Miles Sanders fan. And I think that Jordan Howard was a good addition for short yardage. But like you said, Sanders hasn't played a full 17-game schedule yet. And as much as we like Boston Scott, is he the elite running back you want to be the primary, toucher of the football from a running back standpoint week in and week out? He has great spurts, but, consistency is kind of an issue there. And like you said, Howard's a journeyman and didn't do anything for Philadelphia when he was signed last year. So, yeah, I'm all for getting somebody. I would love Chuba Hubbard in the later rounds. I would love Kenny Gainwell in maybe the third or fourth round, the running back out of Memphis. The other UNC guy opposite of Javonte Williams, like the Carter guy, Michael Carter, I think is his name. There are some good ones to be had, and so yeah, I'm totally fine with getting an extra running back, even though the hope is that Sanders is going to be your starter and will be the elite running back that we expect him to be going forward. Let's do one more here. It's a Joey Bag of Donuts says, hey, Thomas, believing four, if not five quarterbacks are drafted in the top 10, pause, it will be 5. They're all going to go in the top 10. And if it's not in the top 10, then Trey Lance goes like 12 or 13 or 14 if someone wants to trade up and swap with Philadelphia. So just yes, it'll be 5. Who do you draft if Waddle, Surtain, Parsons are sitting there at 12? Personally, I would draft Parsons for his crazy sideline speed and pure instincts he shows at the position. Out of the three, I would probably take Surtain. I'm very much on the Patrick Surtain train, just because the secondary can go from being a weakness last year to having Darius Slay, Patrick Surtain, Avonte Maddox, hopefully in the slot if he can transition over, Anthony Harris, and Ronnie McLeod. It's fantastic. I mean, that is really, really good. I like the addition of Eric Wilson. I think that fills up the linebacker spot, at least to a degree. You can get a linebacker in the 3rd or 4th round. But I would love Surtain in that situation, and then maybe get a wide receiver in round 2. Imagine if they went quickly. Surtain, Terrace Marshall, Nick Bolton, or Jabril Cox. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that draft would be unbelievable. Really, really good. All right, ultimately out for today here on this mailbag video. Again, use the hashtag Eagles down below in the comment section right now to hopefully get in on our mailbag next week, which I'm sure will have even more draft questions with more draft answers. Because again, we are less than 2 weeks away. We are literally 13 days away from the start of the NFL draft. It'll be 2 weeks from today, or this weekend, I should say, when we'll actually know who they're going to go ahead and take and who they would have taken, and we'll break it all down as we always do here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Again, ultimately out for today here on the channel. I'm Thomas Mott signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Really enjoy the rest of your weekend.